Yeah, Brent, around the league, we've had at least 4 teams that performed at a high level when they had to go to their backup quarterback. Kansas, one of them. All 4 of them were guys that had played before at that school. Is that part of your problem? Is that your quarterback room is Brent? You got nobody that was here last year. Is that part of the problem with why you weren't able to function?
I mean, I'm not going to be the one that says that. Y'all were here. We had, who those quarterbacks are. They're not here, so you got to start over. One of them was here in the spring, and then Nick Evers, who's just got out of high school, was here, and he's done a nice job. Like most freshmen, they come in, and there's more bad days than there are good days for freshmen. And then you're a quarterback, and that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother animal. But here, as of late, Nick's been doing well, and I use the place I use as an evaluation time is just when he's gone against other freshmen in some of our scrimmage time that we set aside each week. Just 3 or 4 series, but he's done some good things there in that setting. But otherwise, Davis and General both got here, this summer. Of course, we can't work with them really in the summer until fall camp. So that's not ideal, that's not ideal. But we got to make the best of it.
Is it going to be more with the way quarterbacks have become so transient with the transfer portal?
I just don't think it has to be that way.
You mean they don't have to be transient?
Right. And I think we understand why things took place here in that regard. And I'm not writing the stories, and I'm not even pointing fingers. I'm just, we made a move with a freshman a year ago, and the other guys decided to go elsewhere. But I don't believe that it has to be that way. That other guys can't. Like, I see plenty of programs that have multiple really good quarterbacks. Kansas is one of them. So how are they doing it? I don't know. Maybe I need to ask Coach Leipold that, get a little wisdom from him. And both of those guys were not real highly recruited guys. And maybe that's something to do. I don't know. They've done a good job culturally. I want our guys to be committed and loyal. And again, they want opportunities. I get that too. And quarterback's a very unique position. But, I want guys to love their experience so much and feel a sense of loyalty that making a decision like that is incredibly difficult. Not an easy transient. I don't want a transactional program, and losing 4 guys at once is that's pretty much unheard of, right? Who else has that happened to? I don't know. I don't know. But just paying attention to, I love college football. You don't see that much, and you see the guy like at Georgia. That I think he walked on, and then and then eventually got put on. But he had all these other, and there's still a whole bunch of good quarterbacks on that roster, and yet he's the guy. And somehow he kind of stuck with it rather, and had some stick-to-itness, and he became the guy and hadn't let it go. And so that's what you want to, you want to recruit to that and develop that. And again, we had to figure that out in a very small amount of time. And I think, to be honest, we didn't get the kind of once we got Dillon, we didn't get the kind of reception because of maybe his success where he was. And but I've been proud of the guys that are here that have put the work in, and a week ago, Davis was put in a tough position at TCU, and I thought he handled it well. And at times he did some really good things last week, and like the rest of the team and the staff, there's times that you wish you could get that play back.
Brent, Dillon told us last night he's still under concussion protocol. Does that hinder his preparation at all? And will he be back this week? Do you know that yet?
I mean, I don't know if it hinders his preparation. I don't know what the concussion protocol. I think they continue to evaluate him every day. I don't get into the deep weeds. I'm just I want to major in the minors. So they'll tell me what he can do, what he can't do. He's full go at practice. I think they're just continuing to whatever all those tests are, they do those to make sure that they're on the right side of it. And if he continues to stay out of harm's way in regards to that protocol, I would expect him to play.
Do you have a day of the week that you're expected to get a clearance on that?
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
So, Coach, oftentimes, when a team loses a quarterback, it can still succeed offensively if the play up front is good. What are you seeing up front the last couple games? What concerns you the most about it, and are those things fixable?
You're talking about on offense? Yeah, no, our guys up front, I thought they played, Bill will tell you, if Bill stood up here, you can imagine what Bill Bedenbaugh's going to say. I can think that he can play a lot better, but they actually play pretty good. They've been playing pretty good. And none of it looks good when you're not, throwing the ball to the perimeter and, making one of those plays that should go 8 or 9 or 10 yards, and that's the run game, RPO, and they stack the box. When you're not making, the easy pitch and catches, people can start pinning their ears back and making it harder for you, up front. So our guys have been targeting people. They've been moving people. We need to finish better on that second and the third level. That's an area that, occasionally at the point of attack, we need to be more physical when we got angles on guys and we're setting guys up. But that's been a group the last few weeks, probably 3 weeks, that our guys have done a nice job and have given us a chance. Between that and our running backs, I thought have done a nice job. Last week, again, offensively, it's a different, package and, philosophy going into the game based on, trying to play to the strengths of the team. And I think that's, some of that is what you saw maybe this last week. But that's been a group that I wouldn't say that they've overachieved. There's a couple of players that maybe have, on our football team that have overachieved, but I don't think that they've underachieved either. Bill will tell you that was his Sunday comments. Some of his comments to me was, I think they can be great, and they're good right now. And to me, they've been good enough. We got to get everybody around them, to play good. And again, sometimes that's the defense doing their part too. And instead of putting pressure, constantly on the offense, or again, vice versa. It goes, both ways.
I kind of asked my question already, but I have evaluated the offensive line as they're getting better each and every week, and I'm kind of curious, what was installation like for your wildcat package? Because you have to have some dudes up front that are winning at the point of attack, on the line of scrimmage. To be able to do that in such a short amount of time with as many players as you did it with was pretty impressive.
No, I agree with you, Sam. I thought our guys, players, the coaches, whatever they did to teach them their systematically how they taught it, and to get the understanding, the aggressiveness, the physicality that comes with that, the precision that you got to have. There's a lot of timing factors as well. I thought they did a great job. And but again, I think it comes from a group of guys that trust and believe, and then they put the work in. And again, the coaches that put the scheme in there together to make it all work. But ultimately, the players, their physicality, their precision, their fundamentals are the things that matter. And Texas has got a big, long, athletic front, and they did a great job. And if we can, and we didn't, but you're always evaluating all of it. And so this is part of it. Like, you really feel strong that that game at the worst case could be 21-10, 21-14. You convert your 4th and 1, you punch it in there, you continue to move the ball methodically right down the field and not turn the ball over, and maybe be a little more patient there. You never know how that's going to work, but worst case, Zach Schmidt's been smashing the ball and kicks a field goal, and it's more 21-10, 14-10, and then you got a real fighting chance going into to halftime. And we just we have not been able to play with any kind of rhythm the last several weeks, and that's been the frustrating part. Again, you see Again, very small flashes. And when you're sitting in this position right now, you're looking for all the good, certainly addressing the bad, but you're looking for all the good, and that's what you're trying to continue to put in front of your players too. We got a 120 play cut up just on the defensive side of the ball of all the same plays that we saw this last week and how we've defended them well. In different games, different times during the season. And just to, because I think a picture's worth 1,000 words. And when you're not having success, sometimes those seeds of doubt can, I'm not going to act like that's not happening. We all, most of us have children. We know how immaturity can, affect, how they're thinking and what they're exposing themselves to. So part of our job is to continue to create confidence and buy-in, and that's not an easy thing to do through failure, but that's when you got to be at your best.
You mentioned not getting first downs and kind of being an overall issue. One thing it kind of seemed like on Saturday and all season, when you're going up tempo and you're not getting first downs, that can really be a problem. Has there been any thoughts of kind of maybe coming up with different speeds for that offense throughout this year?
They do have different speeds, and what we need, the focus though is to get first downs, and I say that that's Captain Obvious here, but it can be a burden. So at what point do you play slow down, right? And again, I'm playing the devil's advocate, and I know Jeff doesn't really care about what everybody else thinks, quote unquote. But then all of a sudden you slow it down. No, we're not. Oh, we don't want to win. I know we're going too slow, right? So anyway, but we do have different tempos, and we got to focus on being more efficient within, our play, catalog and our fundamentals that go along with it, and getting everybody to play together. I think would be a big help to getting those first downs and, staying on the field. Moving the ball, creating field position, create momentum, letting guys get rested and make adjustments, things of that nature, how we're working and help each other.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.